talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the
Good evening, Dolphins fans. Welcome to another episode of the best, most positive banking show on all the internet, the Fins Bandwagon. Good evening, Dolphin fans. Don't adjust your television. It's not like last week where me and Pops were together, but this is another episode of the Fins Bandwagon. I'm your host, Evan Posner, FinStanza, and with me always is Fish Tank Hank, my Pops. Honestly, I was just telling him before the show, I am longing. It was just a week ago that we were right now finishing dinner together. You, myself, Kelly, and Bobby, and then we were going back to the Stadium Hotel to do the crossover show. How you doing, Hank?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's been a victory week, of course.
Yeah,
so
it's been awesome.
Victory week means a great time.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. It was such an amazing. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better weekend in Florida. I got to celebrate my birthday there on Tuesday. Got to have a really relaxing day, but to be able to see Hank, my Pops, to get to see Bobby, to get to see Bearded Fanatic, to see Go for Dinner with Thirsty, to see Alex, to see Miss Fins, to see anyone and everyone at Bow Campers, at the game, the tailgating, seeing friends I haven't seen forever. It was just absolutely incredible. I couldn't ask for anything more. And honestly, I'm longing for the fact that I already want to come back and do it again. That's all that matters. It's really been a really phenomenal week. For me, it's been a huge victory week for me. To be able to, I'm savoring that. It's just absolutely incredible. The camaraderie, you don't meet people, and then when you finally meet them, the chemistry that you have, just over YouTube or just talking on the phone, it was so symbiotic. It was absolutely incredible. I'm telling you, but I didn't believe it till I saw it, Hank. The number of people that take pictures with your car. The number of people I just have on X who just they talk about their experience at the game, and the picture they have is them in front of your car. It's absolutely incredible. It's a marketing maven that. So you've had a wonderful week. What have you been keeping yourself busy this week? Besides it being a victory week, how have you been keeping yourself busy?
I've been at the car dealership because my front brakes are squeaking. So I don't like that. You buy a nice car, you don't want your brakes squeaking. So now they tell me, after 3 days of trying to fix it, they said they're going to get me some new rotors. So
okay.
So
with the amount of driving you're doing, I appreciate it, Aldino. Thank you very much. I had a great birthday weekend. You couldn't have asked for anything better than to spend time with your friends in Florida, and then to be able to go see the Dolphins win. It's absolutely incredible. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Absolutely not.
So Evan was partying the whole time.
Oh yes, I was. I never stopped for a minute.
He was a wild animal.
Yes, I was. I could not stop myself. We had a friend. So this week has been all about victories and the Dolphins. The big news, obviously, this week, Hank, that we're going to talk about, because the topic of the show today is the fact that if you're on the bandwagon, you're a contender. If you have any sense that these Dolphins are a pretender, get off our bandwagon. We don't have time for this anymore.
We don't kick anybody off the bandwagon.
No. If you feel that the Dolphins are pretenders, you're going off the bandwagon. That's all I'm saying.
We'll find out. We're going to find out this Sunday if Miami's pretenders or...
No, but I believe we're contenders, and you believe we're contenders, and we know that we're contenders, and we're going to tell everyone why. But the best news of the week, obviously, we're going to talk about all different things before we talk about the Eagles game and all that. The experience of being there again. The Dolphins did something they didn't have to do in previous games. They fell down early, 14-0. I think Thirsty thought I was going to jump onto the field and go chase McDaniel, asking what the heck he was doing in the first quarter. But to be able to come back and put up 42 and at the end of the week have the most points and then have still the most prolific offense, how did that make you feel? When you woke up to Monday morning and realizing that even after that little struggle, that little hiccup in the first quarter, there was never a doubt in anybody's mind.
Yeah, and the other part is it's been 21 years since Miami has been 5-1. And, waking up the next morning, everybody was happy, everybody ever had, Dolphins fans, because I stayed at Stadium Hotel.
Yeah.
and run into Dolphins fans, of course. You always do. And it was just amazing the look in people's eyes and how they were ready and eager for, what's coming next, so.
Yeah, it was just I couldn't like for me like the reason I got so hyped is that I haven't been to a game in a few years, but after every touchdown, it's playing like our theme song. The Miami's got the ball, the greatest football team. That song wakes up in your head like it just it would I woke up in the morning and that was always playing in my head. It's just the joy of the being a Miami Dolphins fan and being there with the fan. And the one thing I will admit, and I'll tell you this: when you go to a game, you never know who you're going to be sitting next to. You meet all these new people. I must say the Dolphin fans in that stadium are some of the nicest people I've ever seen in my life. People were offering each other food in the stadium, offering to go get yourself like it was just like they offered to get you a drink, offering to do. People are so friendly and so engaging and just so in unison with each other. It's like that they all at the end of every game in the locker room they always say family, or before a game they always do the Dolphin people come around together, the players, and they say family. That's what this team is. It's a family. And it's absolutely amazing. So, absolutely incredible. All I know is tonight I'm on the bandwagon. You better be Malloy. You better be. Happy belated birthday, Aladino. You're a proud Libra just like me. Now you know why I behave the way I behave. Let me just see what I got to him for game 10th, and I'm going to say it today. I'm so excited. Well, you better connect with Ray Finkel and Hank. You better go look out for the Corvette because I'm sure Hank will be there too.
Yes, Ray Finkel. I will definitely be at the Stadium Hotel.
So the big news at the beginning of the week, I think, which made all of us smile, is this didn't make us smile. Concerning that X is fighting a groin injury, to find out that our prize trade of the offseason, Jalen Ramsey, the best corner in the NFL, is already on the field practicing. Now, they put him up for this game, which is fine, but to know that between now and post-bye, I'm hoping that it will be by the Kansas City game, that Jalen Ramsey is going to be on our defensive core. How did that make you feel when you saw that news? I was utter ecstatic.
I'm ready for him when he's ready to be on the field.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him, get out there too early and then blow it out, So whatever it takes for him to get healthy, I'd rather us wait, because if he's not ready for the Eagles game, he might be ready for the Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah.
And if he's ready for the Kansas City Chiefs game, that could make a big difference in what our defense has been doing so far. So, and the impact would be unbelievable. You're talking you'd be shifting everybody all over the place.
Yeah. I personally think he's the key to that defense. I just think he's that plug. The same way we've talked about all season about without our quarterback, what would this team be able to do? Without that corner, to have a pure shutdown corner who literally can play every position, whether it's safety, corner, play corner in the slot, wherever you need him to do. He's so athletic. It's just absolutely incredible. Let him take his time, but to know that he's in the 21-day window and we're going to see him at some point. And post-bye, we're going to see Achan, and post-bye, and in the next few weeks, we're probably going to see Armstead. To get these players back at this time, heading into the bye or post-bye for the stretch run, it's absolutely incredible. Like, we could not ask for better timing to get these players back.
No, and everybody had doom and gloom for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Everybody said after the first 4 games we were only going to win 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And here we are at 5-1.
Yeah.
So jump on the bandwagon, have a good time, because we're getting crazy behind the wheel.
Yeah. Because it's not like last season where we were 3-0 and then 3-3. We've already overcome that obstacle.
Yes.
Tua is healthy. Our core players are healthy. Our offensive line. Do you realize that our offensive line in most games, because some of these sacks were in games where it really didn't matter towards the end of the Buffalo game and all that, but Tua was clean again last game. Like our offensive line, when it's being put together as a band of just misfits. I like calling them the misfits. They're going way beyond our expectations. It's absolutely incredible.
I couldn't agree more. They've been holding everything up, and keeping it going. I don't know how, but they've been doing a great job, and that comes with coaching also. A lot of coaching goes into that. A lot of time and effort on the players' part, and I believe that they're actually starting to put something together. With the hodgepodge that they've been doing, they're starting to get something together.
Yeah, because forming an O-line is no easy thing, but Butch Barry has been able to put together fitting in Kendall Lamb. The fact that you're not hearing about Austin Jackson in a game is a positive thing because he's not making mistakes. Liam Eichenberg did all he needed to do last game to stay stabilized there. Robert Hunt did his job. Isaiah Wynn's doing his job, and Kendall Lamb is doing a yeoman's menschlich job. I'll use my Yiddish today to cover for Teron Armstead. You know what's also been amazing, and I noticed it at the game, being there live. Jalen Ramsey is there and as excited as anybody else when they score, and he's there supporting the corners. The same thing goes with Teron Armstead. He's like having a secondary head coach for the O-line. Sitting there, just because he's not physically on the field doesn't mean he's not teaching Kendall Lamb and Austin Jackson how to improve how they play tackle. It's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Like to have these guys as secondary, as optional coaches to help their team. It's not like they're hiding in the press box. They're right there with the team on the field. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I like everything Miami's doing right now. The only thing that I'm still concerned with is our defense.
We'll get there. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But let's stay on the offense first.
To that in a minute.
We'll get there in a minute. No, because I'm going to ask you very interesting questions about the defense. I brought it up, I think, during our games, too. I think we brought it up on the post game, actually. But
we'll hold off on that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the offense a little bit.
Yeah,
I want to talk about all the big news this week. So the other big news, because a lot of talking heads are talking about the Dolphins, was this whole, and I want to get your opinion because you don't ever pull any punches. The whole thing where Joe Schad of the Palm Beach Post sort of like took over what the talking heads on ESPN and Fox Sports 1 and all that were saying is that if Tua was not the quarterback in this system and you put any other quarterback in this system with the players that we have, that this team would be in the same position they are now. What do you say to that? Because Mike McDaniel had something to say about that. What do you say about that when you hear this stuff?
Well, on something like that, people are entitled to their opinion.
Oh, so frank.
But you sit there and you watch film on him, and you see his accuracy. You see his time. You see everything that this man is doing. This young man is doing everything right.
Yeah.
And even though he's still doing everything right, he's still getting the skinny end of the stick, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. No, but for me, I say that I'm proud of Mike McDaniel. What's he going to answer? But he said that people have tried out his offense and no one's doing it better. And yes, he has Tyreek Hill, but you want to know what? Everyone has great players. They're all going to do well. The same. Joe Montana had Jerry Rice. Dan Marino had the Marks brothers. The Terry Bradshaw had Lynn Swan in the group. Every great Tom Brady had Gronk. He had Hernandez. He had players he needed to around him to make this team work. For me, Tua is the perfect quarterback for this system. The same way Brock Purdy is a great quarterback for his system. And watching other games this week, like watching the Chargers against the Cowboys and watching Keenan Allen wide open and Justin Herbert missing him. Tua was doing things on Sunday that I got to see live. People were not even done their routes yet. They have yet to turn, and the ball is waiting for them when they get there. Yeah. A lot of quarterbacks, like Mike White, you knew when Mike White threw that interception, he was waiting for the guy to get there first.
Yeah.
That's not what Tua does. And that's what's absolutely incredible. So for me.
So you like his anticipation then?
Yeah. And for me, Tua is the right quarterback for this system. Let him continue to grow. Mike McDaniel, Tyreek Hill. When Tyreek Hill said he was the most accurate quarterback he's ever seen, he's not wrong. Look at the stats prove it for 2 consecutive seasons that Tyreek is actually better as a result of Tua. And let me ask you this straight up. If Tua wasn't there for the rest of the season, I think we'd all pack our bags and say, it's been a nice season. We'll do what we can the rest of the way, but our confidence level wouldn't be at an all-time high. if you lose Tyreek for 2 or 3 games, Waddle and the group with Claypool and could sustain us because the quarterback is still there who helps us. And even before Tyreek got there, Tua had a winning record as a quarterback just with Jalen Waddle.
Yes.
So for me, Tua is the glue of that offense, no matter what anybody says. I don't care who else is there. Don't you agree?
Oh, you make great points. I can't disagree with you there, Junior.
So I want to ask you now about the running game.
All right, ask me
how
about the running
amazed have
game.
you been the fact that compared to last year, when you go to the games and you see the equivalent number of runs to passes, you see Tyree. I didn't realize Raheem Mostert was a hurler, could hurl the way he does, like having 11 touchdowns. Like, how impressed are you, and how much joy does it give you to see that the fact that they're doing such a balanced attack? And has anything surprised you about our running game?
The only thing that surprised me is that Achane got hurt. Outside of that, you know what? These guys, they surprised me as far as the speed that they have. When I watch them live, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I watch them just run right by people, and I just amazed. I'm amazed every time. These guys, they are quite the talent. They have a track team going. It's a question of who are you going to let go free? That's what the question is. Who are you going to let go free so you could try to cover this spot or that spot? And depending on whatever Miami's doing, whether it's pass or run or whatever the play is that's coming in, I like the direction Miami's running backs have been in. It's been nothing but upside. The only downside is we lost, like I said, some players, but that's okay.
Jeff Wilson's coming back. Jeff Wilson's coming back.
And people will be coming back. So I'm happy with what's going on. I'm happy with the coaching on the offense. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, the only hesitation I have on the offense is for some reason, for an offense as potent as ours, we don't seem to enjoy being in 3rd and 1 situations. We seem to overthink those situations a little bit more. How would you, on those type of plays where it's 3rd and 1 and we're throwing the ball, or we're trying these quick slants, or we're trying to go up the middle when we don't, and we seem to not to get that push? What would you do? Like, how would you think? How should the offense? Because we have the tush push in Philly, but like, how would you? What's an ideal play for you? Because do we have that player? Is it Wilson? Is it Durham Smythe going behind center? Like, what would you want to see to enable us to be able to get those first downs on those short yardage situations?
I think like McDaniel, depending on where we are on the field, except McDaniel doesn't think that way.
No.
He doesn't care where he is on the field. He thinks on 3rd down, he still has another down when he's that close, in my opinion.
You're right. You're a good point.
So because he thinks he has another down, he's going to try a few things. Now, if he doesn't feel like he has another down, depending on the position on the field, of course, he might not go for it, but he likes to go for it on 4th and 1. So
I like that.
Yes, me. I just truly believe he feels there's another down to come, so he doesn't worry about it, and he just goes about his business.
Okay. But who do you trust most to get us that yard?
I would like to see Ingold used a little more.
I agree with you.
If you're talking about one thing I think you should do is use Ingold a little more on those short plays, because he's supposed to be our big bruiser.
Yeah.
Get him in there and knock on wood,
Yep, absolutely. I agree. We have to utilize our fullbacks for that reason. But also, and the one thing I will give credit, being at the game, watching it, I'm sure you see too, our tight ends have not been utilized in a receiving role all that much. But I must say, whether it's Jerm Smythe, whether it's Alec Ingold, whether it's Julian Hill, they're all blocking like champs. That's the one thing you haven't heard, is that they're blocking like absolute champions. So they may not be getting on the stat sheet for receptions, but from a blocking perspective, they've been just phenomenal. I just see the time and space that Tua has, and then what the running backs have in terms of space to get across in the zone scheme. is absolutely incredible for me. I think it's just amazing how everyone's just playing in unison. It's like a symphony orchestra to me. Yeah, don't you agree? So the one positive, guys, and I did say this on the show, and I will between now and the next few weeks, I will purchase it. I actually have a video of every single extra point that Jason Sanders made, and I will eat crow, and there will be a Jason Sanders jersey somewhere on my body between now and the end of the year. And I want to congratulate Jason Sanders on willing to restructure his contract to lower his cap hit so that we can gain another almost $1.33 million because you're up there against the cap. So congratulations, Jason Sanders. You won my heart for this week. Okay, you made 6 extra points. And you restructured your contract. So congratulations, Jason Sanders. I'm very proud of you. So it's absolutely awesome. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. You're watching the Fins Bandwagon on the Fins
Who Daddy?
Network.
Fins up, Who Daddy?
It's absolutely incredible, guys. Just to have you guys here today. It's so much fun to be here. Do you see Claypool have much role in this offense? Yes, Duke. I see him playing this weekend. I do see that I think he may actually play over Chosen, and I do see a scheme we're going to talk about in a minute. Now let's talk about the Eagles.
Let me answer Who Daddy here.
Go for it.
Who Daddy? I'm getting the rotors done on my brakes from my vet. That's how the vet's doing.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Yeah, but you'll all be ready to go when you go beat the Cheatriots. It's all good.
Yes.
So talking about heading into this game, let's just talk about the Eagles for a second. Then we'll talk about that's where I want to talk about our defense. But so the Eagles we found out today that a lot of players like Lane Johnson, who's their right tackle, hasn't given up a sack in 3 years pre-COVID. And then you have Darius Slay, and you have Jalen Carter, and I believe who else did Joe Whalen say might be coming back. I'm just trying to find that there. Carter and Slay, yeah. So they're seeing they're going to get all their players back. But before we get to the defense, on the offensive perspective, do you see this being a very pass-heavy game for the Miami Dolphins? Because the secondary is where they seem to struggle in Philly, and not their front seven trying to run the ball. Do you see this being a little more of a pass-heavy game for the Dolphins?
Yeah. Let me say hi to my little special friend, Sebastian. Hello, Sebastian.
That's awesome.
2-1, Holmes.
That's awesome.
That's my little buddy out in the West Coast.
That's cool.
Sebastian. So what was your question again?
Do you see this weekend on the offensive side of the ball that's still being we're going to say a balanced attack, or are we going to take advantage of their weakened secondary and throw the ball?
I think we're going to play the role of see what the defense does for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, if they're able to stop the run, then we're not going to use the run. But if they're unable to stop the run like most teams have been, we'll have a balanced attack.
Okay.
I believe we'll have a balanced attack. However, you have Slay and there's a couple people that are coming back, but I don't worry about
Jalen Carter coming back on the defensive side of the ball, the rookie, and then Lane Johnson, their offensive right tackle, is coming back.
Yeah. See, I'm not concerned about Slay though. I mean, he's one of their better players, but not with what we have.
And for color, 30-mile-per-hour wind, Gus. That just means that Tyreek, instead of running a 4.28, he'll run a 4 because the wind's going to be pushing him further away.
Yeah.
I don't mind the wind. Let them win. Let the wind push Tyreek faster. I don't mind that at all. No, but yeah, I agree. Like, we need to just see what they give them. I will still stay with the balanced attack. You want to keep the defense honest, and I think for me, you just have to see how you functioned last game, because this team, one thing, I know that people saying, well, them losing to the Jets is a bad thing and they should be undefeated and that would give us a little more of a chance. And I say to myself, no, again, football is football, and you get to learn from what the Jets did to the Eagles and find a way to do it and find a way to balance it out. So speaking of the defense, what are your going against the Eagles? You said it concerns you. So prior to me giving you an interesting question about that, why after watching the Carolina game, what still concerns you about the defense that only gave up 14 points to the Panthers? What concerns you still?
Okay, you say that, but they gave up 14 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at what Miami hasn't done all year, which is stop the run in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Now, what the Bills did was we didn't stop the run on the Bills, and they just piled on with the pass and just piled on and piled on and piled on. And that's why we got the snot beat out of us by them. If Miami doesn't stop the run or play a better defense than they've been playing, Eagles are like the Kansas City Chiefs. They can get ahead on you. So we don't want to be playing from behind.
No.
Even though we have awesome players to do it, I'd rather be playing with a lead with a balanced attack like you were saying before.
Yeah.
And part of that balanced attack is the defense also not being stuck on the field forever too. So
get off the field on third down.
Yeah, we have to get off the field on third down and stop that clowning around what's going on. It happened last year. It's happening this year.
Okay.
The other thing that concerns me is I haven't seen a lot of change prior to this past game. There hasn't been a lot of change. And then again, we're playing the Panthers. So they shouldn't have scored 14 points on us in the beginning of the game. But, we had a turnover. We had turnovers and other factors in there too. So those are my concerns right now with the defense. That we're not really stopping anybody. We're allowing the people to go up and down the field at will.
We're not letting anybody behind us. Like you've noticed, we don't give up big plays. But we allow people to get sustained drives, a bend not break defense.
Yeah, if you're still giving somebody 8 to 12 plays, every time,
it kills the clock, and then that hurts our time of possession, and we have to be faster on our drives to rack up the points, which is been a problem the last 2 weeks against the Giants and the Panthers. But heading into this game, where was Vic Fangio for most of last year when he was helping a team? He was in Philly. And he was giving guidance to them. Do you feel that it's advantage Eagles that they had he sort of opened the book to how he runs a defense, or is it beneficial to the Dolphins that they have Fangio who was able to see how Jalen Hurts and that offense functions because he was there to support the offense to handle KC's defense? So who do you think the advantage is in having Fangio either helping the Eagles last year or him being on the Dolphins this year? I personally think this will be the best game the defense has played all season because of the fact that Fangio was there. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow. That's a pretty big statement. To be honest with you.
I'm on the wagon. I'm on the bandwagon.
Like I said, this is the one team that I looked on the schedule and I said, uh-oh. Are we going to be able to get past them? Not the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. It's this team that I'm concerned with. And, I'm on the bandwagon. I want to see us win too. When do I not want to see us win? And I'm going to be rooting for Miami all night long, because we're going to go probably into midnight with this one.
But do you feel that Vic Fangio, that the type of team that it's going to finally come to fruition this weekend?
I really hope so, because if what I've been thinking was going to happen doesn't happen, we're going to get smacked around like we did with the Bills. So it better happen.
Yeah,
it better happen this game. It needs to happen.
Yeah,
if we expect to be true contenders for the Super Bowl or playoffs and beyond, we have got to be able to put a complete game together against the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. Which area of the defense, though, are with X having a groin injury? Let's talk about the secondary first. If X can't go, do you want if X is 50%, do you want him on the field?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Who are you playing if X doesn't play, who are your two corners?
I don't care as long as it's not X, because if X has a pulled groin, people are going to be running right by him. And I don't want that.
Do you want Apple? Do you want Apple and Kohu? Do you want Needham? Do you want Smith?
Needham.
Needham and who?
Needham and Kohu.
If Apple also has to play, would you put Needham in the slot or would you put Kohu in the slot? Who do you feel is better?
I might put Apple in the slot.
Okay.
To be totally honest with you, because Apple is a little better in the slot. I would
Then
put him in the slot.
who do you put on AJ Brown, who's the size of is bigger, who's just a tank?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm not
area
scared.
of the defense?
Who do you think they should put on him?
On him?
Yeah.
I would just go with the veteran. I would put Eli Apple just because Eli Apple. I'd rather go with veterans against veteran versus putting, because we saw the last time. The one thing about Fangio's defense I don't want to see is I don't want to see that depending on where the guy lines up on each side of the field, that's where you put him, because that's what they did in Buffalo, and they never moved X to cover Diggs because Diggs was always going on the same side as Kohu, and we paid for it all game.
Oh.
So you put up
that killed us.
No, exactly. You put your best defender, no matter where he is on the field. It's up. That's all you do. You put your best defender against the best player on that defense, on that offense. What area, though, heading to this game concerns you? Is it the secondary? Is it you played two deep safeties? Are you worried about the linebacker core? Are you worried about the? Because for me, the D line gave me a lot of positive vibes. The fact that Wilkins got 2 sacks last game, the fact that Sealer got a sack, the fact that Chubb got a sack, like to see the development of those players, I was very happy to see that. So for me, the D line doesn't concern me as much as probably a bang up secondary or the middle linebacker core.
Yeah, I think AVG and the gang will be doing all right on linebackers. Fins up thirsty. I'm a little more concerned with what you just said. I'm a little more concerned with what you just said. The secondary, being chipped up a bit, especially with X being out and Ramsey out. That's our biggest concern right now.
I agree with you. In terms of the overall the overall game, what's your level of excitement for this game, in the sense that is this a game that you're sort of shying away from, that you're going to be on pins and needles for, or is this a game where you're confident heading to this game that if we stick to the game plan that we can go into Philly and just beat this team?
I'm not going to chew fingernails. I'm going to get my fingers down to the nubs. That's what it's going to be happening to me watching this game. It'll be like a typewriter.
Because I said this to you after the Buffalo game. On Mondays, when the Dolphins lose like this to teams that we need them to get over the hump on, I don't want to hear the talking heads ripping us a new one. The Kansas City game could be a tight game. It's a divisional game. All that can happen. If we beat this team, I think no matter what the score is, this is going to be the crown. This is going to give the Dolphins the fuel. It's like jet fuel to just they could beat anyone. Like, people are going to say that this team can go anywhere and beat everyone. Because every time we come close on the road to beating a team that's on a different echelon than us that we've been on for many, many years, it's always the Dolphins just can't beat the great teams. And it's going to be, well, you beat the Broncos, you beat the Panthers.
Yeah. You got to beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
We got to beat the Eagles this time around. The Jets beat them, and the Jets have a great defense. I'm not going to, I take nothing away from the Jets defense winning that game. And Miami has to follow suit. They have a blueprint to beat them. Yeah. They have a blueprint right in front of them, how to run their defense, what to do. Now, we don't have the same talent, but you know what? We do have some great players that can make a lot of push, especially toward Hurts. And that's what we have to do, is keep pressure on Hurts this game.
Yeah. I want to just jump up on what Joseph Whalen said. They can't say the Eagles weren't 100% because neither are the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not for sure going to have Connor Williams. We don't have Teron Armstead. We don't have Jalen Ramsey back. We have an injured X. We don't have Devon Achane. We don't have Chris Brooks. Every game of every week, a team does not have its full team. That's never an excuse on why you don't win a football game. I'm sorry, that just doesn't happen. The one thing I will say though is that in all different areas,
Jalen Hurts
is not the Jalen Hurts of last year so far this year, and he showed how exposed he was last game. The Dolphins putting up 37 points a game. The Dolphins, if they need it to be a shootout, the Dolphins can make it a shootout. If it's a tight defensive game where it's a tight game throughout, and they're putting two safeties over, they're putting safety over the top, and they're keeping us here. Start running the ball. We need to be able to play these grind. Like, this is actually a perfect playoff game test for us. Can we grind a game out? If we take a phenomenal lead and we destroy them, great. But if it has to be a tight game, this is where Mike McDaniel has to realize that to learn from his mistakes, continue what you've been doing this season, balanced attack. And if you do that, then your team is going to come together and gel. That's what they've been doing all season. The chemistry about this team is what I think its biggest strength, is the fact that they're able to complement each other so well.
Well, they also are saying, a lot of people are talking about this could be a Super Bowl preview.
Yeah.
A lot of analysts are saying that this could be a preview of the Super Bowl. I don't believe so, because I believe it's going to be the Niners and the Dolphins.
Daniel, I don't. And who knows? Right now, people are saying the Lions. The Lions are doing something otherworldly too.
Yeah, but the Lions aren't no easy crop dust anymore.
Yeah. But another big positive of this game that we have to be positive about, whether there's 30-mile-an-hour winds, we're going to play a team like this in weather where it's still going to be in the 50s. It's going to be decent weather, meaning
it's going to be nice football weather.
It's going to be nice football weather where the Dolphins will succeed. I personally think the game against the Bills was just one of those games where they just weren't ready to play, and they shot themselves in the foot. But it doesn't matter, because the best thing about losing is you learn from it, and that's what I like about our coach, and is the fact that he's learning this year from his mistakes last year. Exactly. And then like you said, the Eagles haven't played a lot of great teams yet either. And when they had to face a stout defense, they struggled. They've yet to face an offense of our level. Like they haven't been forced to put up 38 points a game. It's going to be very, very hard for them to do that.
Hey, it'll be an 84 rematch, and then Dan can finally buy Joe a Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, what do you think about the fact? Is that an advantage or disadvantage that they're going to be wearing the Keeley greens on Sunday? They're going back old Keeley greens.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they're wearing their old Keeley green uniforms. Those light green 1980 uniforms. What do you think about that?
Hey, bring it on.
I think this might be the first time we might see Aqua. We're going to see Aqua. We're going to be wearing white. We're probably going to be wearing white jerseys again for the millionth time. Actually,
hey, I like wearing white jerseys.
White with aqua pants. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do their LA Charger game. They've yet to wear aqua once this season. Maybe it's a trend. Stick with the white for all season. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, do you feel that right now? I know you're going to talk about it tomorrow, but right now, who for you has been the catalyst of this team? Which one player for you that has really been the glue that has kept this team afloat all season? Who is it and why? On the offensive side of the ball. Let's offensive side of the ball.
All right. Offensive side of the ball, it always starts and ends with the quarterback.
Okay.
And Tua has been nothing short of phenomenal. Yeah. He's winning. He's not giving the ball up a lot. I mean, he's done some damage here and there, but I'm telling you, he's looking good. Him and Tyreek Hill. But I have to look at Tyreek Hill. Yeah. I say Tua, but I got to look at Tyreek Hill because he's no slough either. He's been helping Tua a lot.
43 receptions. 814 yards, 19.4 yards a reception. He's on pace for 15 touchdowns and over 2,300 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Tua's been doing great, but you got another guy out there that's helping him. So, like I said, it's between those two. And, why can't they just be co-MVPs?
Yeah.
Why can't we all just get along?
Exactly. And what Color had to say, we have 4 games scoring above 30 and 2 of those above 30 and 2 of those above 40. Their DS face trash offenses. The city, if we can't keep up, we're executing at a high level. And that's the truth. Keep it balanced. Do what we did in Buffalo last year. Keep it balanced. And that's all that matters. And that's the one hard part, Ray, is that this is going to be I love the fact that that's actually my only concern about this game. We struggle in prime time, but they have to overcome that. This season has been about overcoming obstacles. Have we learned from our past mistakes? Have players improved? And in individual basis, they have improved. On the defensive side of the ball, who is right now after 6 weeks? Who has been your MVP on the defense?
AVG. Andrew Van Ginkel.
Exactly.
He's been playing like a monster.
Yeah, he moved everywhere without complaining, and it's just absolutely incredible.
And wherever they put him, he's been.
I want him on the edge. To this game, I want him chasing Hurts down because I want. But and by the way, this is the one game, Hank. Throw your zone out the window if you have to. You have to get to Jalen Hurts because last game, when he threw 3 interceptions, he was being pressured. You don't stick back on him when he's forced to make a decision. That's when he makes his mistakes. When he's rushing to make a decision because he needs time on the pocket. If you give him 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket, he's going to beat you to death. If you get to him fast and he has to start moving around, he might get his yard sometimes. But if you force him to throw the ball when he's running, he's going to make a mistake. And that's where the turnovers are going to come. And we need to get a turnover.
Evan's been watching film.
Yeah. I have been watching film.
I know you
Flip a coin whether we show. I think Mike McDaniel knows. I think Mike McDaniel realizes that this game is so important Armstead's not starting. He's not cleared yet. I don't think he'll be ready to play. He's still on IR.
He's gonna start.
Yeah. No, he's not gonna start. The player who needs to start more than anything for me, of all players that are on that injured reserve list, which is you have the Needhams, you have the X's, you have the Rams, is out. Is Connor Williams. Connor Williams has to be behind center. I do not want Jalen Carter and Hassan Reddick and Cox and all that having to stare up at Liam Eichenberg. Liam Eichenberg had a great game last game. That defense, you need Connor Williams. You need him there. You need him to guide that offensive line.
You need as much help as you can get off against that defensive line. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. This isn't going to be, I don't know, it's not going to be like we're going to be blowing them out all of a sudden because this defense isn't a joke.
No, the wide receivers never won MVP. You won Offensive Player of the Year, Joseph. The last MVP, last MVP non-quarterback was 2012, I believe, or 2013 was Adrian Peterson. No wide receivers ever won MVP. Most outstanding player many times, but not MVP.
Yeah.
And honestly,
not even Jerry Rice.
Not even Jerry Rice. And two defensive players, when you look on it, and a defensive player hasn't won it since 1986, I think, or 85, with Lawrence Taylor. And before that, it was Alan Page, way before I was born. So, what overall are you having when will you start to get butterflies for this game?
I already have them, for crying out loud. I told you I'm going to be biting the nubs off my fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the one game I'm nervous about. This is the one game that concerns me. And I haven't seen enough out of the defense yet to say that I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
If I had seen more out of our defense against quality teams that, we played some susceptible teams so far. We have, but at the same time, we've counted those as W's, regardless. Those are NFL teams. We played them. We got the wins.
If Jalen Ramsey was playing and it was his first game, would you be less concerned?
No.
Just because it was his first game back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, only because it would be his first game back. And I don't know if he would want to take that chance or not.
Hey guys, Thirsty says it was awesome meeting us in person. Not for me. He left me with the check. Let's see how quickly he responds to that one. I'm just kidding with him.
Good job, Thirsty.
I'm just kidding with him. Just kidding with him. I stank right. I knew it was on 12. It was on QB. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, for me, one cool thing is that the biggest plot. Would you be less concerned about this game if it was home? I actually kind of like the fact that it's on the road. I think the pressure of being at home would get to them.
I would be less concerned if we were at home. I'd really like Miami at home better than most teams. I 9 out of 10 times I will pick Miami to win at home over another team.
Yeah, because I think we're going to go undefeated at home this year. That's my prediction right here. We're going to go undefeated at home.
That's a good possibility.
We're not going to lose at home. We're not going to lose at home. Yeah, that's true. He set the record. He didn't win it yet, but the Dyreeks did break the record this year. No, for me, this game is I wanted to pay. Who am I to refuse? Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Absolutely. You're the best, Thirsty.
Wait a minute. You didn't pick up my tab and you picked up his?
Let me
Junior.
ask you wait. Where are the staffing trays? Are they in my trunk or are they in your trunk? Where are all the hot dogs from the game? Where's all that food? Did you not get treated well at tailgate? Was you not treated well at tailgate? Come on. You pay it forward, okay? Pay it forward. We're all there to support each other. I splurged.
Hey, wait a minute! Don't try to buff me off. I'm just talking about you picking up the bill all the time, Junior.
I love you, Hank. You're the best. Anyway, no, for me this weekend, I know we have a lot to talk about. You're going to talk a lot about the keys to the game and predictions. I'll do it on the pregame show. You're going to talk about it on Fins Talk today. But I must say that honestly, have they exceeded your expectations? Have they met your expectations? Or have they under-impressed you yet so far this season? Considering how the season has played out with the injuries, have they exceeded or until you see what they can do this Sunday, they've just met your expectations?
The offensive line has surprised me and is exceeding what I thought they would do. Not my expectations, but they're exceeding what I thought they would be able to do with these missing players.
Yeah.
And the offense is like a video game scoring machine at this point in time.
Yeah.
So you couldn't ask for more than that. However, the defense concerns me. I am still concerned with this defense till I see them play a full game. And this is the game that they have to do it. This is the game that we've been waiting for. There's no more excuses. You've been playing with whatever player's missing. So are we. We're going in there. It's time for our defense to step up or shut up. It's got to be one or the other. They have to do it. Otherwise, our team isn't going to do squat in the playoffs. If we can.
Did you just freeze on me for the first time ever? Okay, guys. Hank has frozen on me. He'll come back in a minute. But no, honestly, the defense does have to show up because honestly, we were most concerned about the offensive line heading into this season. Now we're more worried about the defensive line. And yes, Joseph, that's correct. The Buffalo Bills are ripe for the taking. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots somehow pull that game off in Foxborough. I really do think that. So, Hank, you continue what you were saying.
I was just saying, we have concerns with that defense, and until they can show that they can play a full, 60-minute game or half of it, the 30 minutes, we're not going to go anywhere, and especially in the playoffs. I don't see us going past anybody. If we can't beat teams like the Eagles, Miami has to be able to win regardless of what the defense does. We still have to win this ball game. Yeah. But you know what I'm really excited about? I want to get a little bit back to that excitement we were talking about.
Yes, I'm very excited.
We have running plays and running that I haven't seen, other than like Ricky Williams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have running plays like I haven't seen on the Miami Dolphins.
And I think this guy here is going to play a role. Mr. Claypool, I think, is going to play this week, and I think he's going to be that big power receiver that we need.
Hey,
balance it.
You know what? We picked up a great player.
Yeah. As
long as McDaniel can pull him aside, help this young lad out, get him on the straight road, and let him see what he's got. He doesn't have all this pressure on him that was put on him from other teams, making him a number one wide receiver. He's not even our number 3. He's our, hey, come on in and give it a try. So I like what we're doing. I like the direction we're going.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Claypool play, though.
Yeah. But who would have thought, and I'll give you, it's actually not a terrible thing. Our concern heading into the season was our offensive line. Who would have thought the offensive line would be the least of our concerns? And speaking of the defense, everyone says how difficult the new schemes are to learn. They're meshing into it. They're developing into it. They played even though they haven't been playing great, they have played better as games have gone along, as the season has come along. And I do believe that Vic Fangio is going to go into Philly, where he's from, and he's going to lay the hurt on Jalen Hurts. Screws the pun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even predict that pun. So
Hurt on Hurts.
Hurts on Hurts. So before we close it out, we're over 50 minutes into the show. What final words do you have for the people?
Hey, I just want to say out there, folks, we're going to win.
Yes, we are.
We're going to win. We're going to win, and we're going to win. And I hope we win our way into a Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
I really want to see it happen.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're not done with Dolphins content just yet. Tomorrow, noon, Hank, Fish Tank Hank, Bobby Fins Talk today. I'll be there. Hank will for sure be there. I'll be there in the comments driving them bananas. I love doing that. And then on Sunday morning around 11 o'clock, we'll have the pregame show with myself and Bobby Fins Talk and anyone else who wants to join. And then we're going to be biting our nails for about 8 hours, watching Red Zone, watching all the teams lose. Hopefully the Cheatriots. I'm actually going to cheer for the Cheatriots to beat the Buffalo Bills because I want the Buffalo Bills to feel that struggle again because they should have lost on Monday night to the Giants. How Brian Daboll and Tyrod Taylor messed up on the 1 yard line heading into the half is bananas to me. We'll all make our predictions again. I agree. Let's do Duke has State Fins 34-31. That'd be crazy for our defense. I'll be biting my nails worse than that. Yeah, everyone's saying 34-31. Everything's great, guys. What's up, Eric? I really appreciate you watching tonight. Dolphins thirsty. Ray Finkel, you're going to see Hank in December, the Titans game. Color, you're phenomenal. Keep up the great work. Raphael, Joseph, Duke, Daniel, Ben, you always join in. We appreciate everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, it's going to be a fun weekend. The Dolphins are going to climb Mount Everest. They're going to go into Philly. It's Philly Finvasion. We're going to be a lot of Dolphin fans there screaming with these banana heads, these Philadelphia buffoons who like to go crazy. They're going to be, I'll make you a bet right now. They're going to be booing the Philadelphia Eagles off the field because that's what Philadelphia fans do. They boo they don't support their team like the Miami Dolphins. They boo their fans off the field. What kind of fan base is that? Just for that reason, they're going to lose. Like,
all right.
Subscribe. Fins up, everyone.
Fins up.